The Kursk submarine disaster was a Russian naval submarine disaster that occurred in the Barents Sea after the first Navy training exercise that Russia held in over a decade. The event took place on August 12th of the year 2000. All 118 crew members aboard the Kursk would end up losing their life as the submarine would go on to sink and rest at the bottom of the ocean. What had occurred was the crew was participating in the first naval exercise in over a decade when they loaded a dummy torpedo into the torpedo hole. However, thanks to faulty welds on the dummy torpedo, it leaked hydrogen peroxide, which would eventually catalyze and explode. The explosion would tear a hole in the nearby bulkheads and would lead the submarine to eventually sink. However, thanks to a training exercise a few days prior, the submarine's emergency buoys were no longer active and weren't deployed after the ship had sank. This led to a large search in which the Russian Navy was originally unable to locate the submarine, and other nations began offering their help and support. However, Russian President Vladimir Putin was away on vacation at his summer house in Sochi. It was only 5 days after the incident that the British and Norwegian assistance was officially accepted by Russia, and just 2 days after that, British and Norwegian divers would end up locating the submarine. They ended up locating the submarine sitting 354 deep in the water, and they found no survivors on board. The sub was eventually raised in a large salvage operation in which the bodies of 115 of the sailors were located and reburied in Russia. And if you want to know more interesting facts, be sure to follow so you don't miss out on more.